What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I've talked about the minimap on this channel. We've talked about Dead Silence. We've talked about pretty much everything across the board when it comes to this game, all the negatives. But there's absolutely one thing that stands out to me personally, and I think everybody as well. You can go on Twitter, you can look down your news feed, you can just go on the game itself and listen to game chat, and everybody will be going ahead and talking about it. And I'm kind of shocked too, because it's one of the best things in this whole game, but at the same time, it's one of the worst things, and that is the audio of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. The audio in this game is ridiculously amazing. Sometimes I think it's a little too amazing for its own good, you know? It makes the multiplayer experience turn into, I don't want to say a camp fest, because people are very aggressive in Modern Warfare 2. You know, a lot of people say it's very slow paced, but all my lobbies, people are jumping around, you know, they're getting different angles and stuff like that. And even though there are power positions that you can hold across each and every map, people are, you know, they like to rotate in my type of lobbies. So I do witness movement, but not as much movement that could truly be within this game. And of course, I would love to see Dead Silence back as a perk and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, even if Dead Silence stays as a field upgrade, which I don't want it to, you know, I'd much rather have a perk, but even if it does stay as a field upgrade, if they reduce the footstep noise, that would probably fix, in my personal opinion, everything. I mean, over half of the streaks that I go on with in this game are just basically simply off of audio cues. And when I tell you this new engine for the audio is next gen, I'm not lying to you in any way, shape, or form. If I'm inside a building, and let's say there's wood flooring, I can hear specifically where every enemy is. If there's 3 enemies in that building and they're all sprinting around in different locations, I can pinpoint each and every enemy, know exactly which room they are in, what corner they are in inside that room. If one of them jumped outside, if someone is trying to rotate, I can hear everything just simply through audio cues. Now, of course, that is, you know, kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, you know, to see technology evolve in such a way that it's that specific is really awesome. But at the same time, when it comes to a game like Call of Duty, that's supposed to be a fast-paced, arcadey-styled game, having footsteps that loud reduce the movement that you see within the game. When someone can hear every last movement that you're making, they're not going to move to you. Why would they move to you when they know exactly where you are at? And crazy enough, in my personal opinion, make sure you guys go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below, but I personally think that the footsteps in this game are louder than they were in Modern Warfare 2019 back in that beta. It's actually completely absurd. I can't believe that they took it to this level. But I think they did it for a specific reason. I think they purposely made the footstep audio, or just the audio in general, so in-depth, because they're working on DMZ. Now, for those who don't know what DMZ is, it's probably what I'm most excited for when it comes to this brand new game. It's basically Escape from Tarkov. You don't know what Escape from Tarkov is, it's a looter shooter. You know, you go in, you loot, you extract, you try to build currency, you try to make awesome builds, you interact with the environment, and you interact with other players. It's not really an end goal like there is in Battle Royale, where you have to be the last man standing. You can go in and you can slaughter everybody if you want. You can go in and you can make friends with a bunch of people and do quests, or you can go in and not interact with anybody and just stealth around and try to find loot to sell. Whatever your goal is, you can do it within DMZ. Now, an engine like this makes perfect sense in that scenario. Just like an Escape from Tarkov or any other extraction shooter, sound is crucial. You have to understand the risk factor of an extraction shooter is much riskier than a Battle Royale. A Battle Royale, you don't risk anything. You go in with nothing and you find loot on the ground. DMZ or extraction game modes, you go in with the loot that you either purchased or you built up or you saved for a long time to obtain. You know, there's a lot more on the line when you waited, you know, weeks of grinding using crappy weapons and crappy armor to get this one badass kit, you know, and you finally go into a raid with it. There's risk on the line, because if you die, you know, weeks worth of your work are gone right out the window. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it so thrilling. So in a game like that, you need sound. You know, when you're in a building looting and you're trying to, you know, get stuff together, hearing where someone's at inside the same building as you, especially if you haven't seen the new Warzone map, which is what DMZ is going to be on. Trust me, it's going to be a lot of, you know, building warfare, breaching and clearing and stuff like that. It's going to be cool for DMZ. Warzone, I don't think it's going to be too outstanding, but DMZ, I can't wait. I cannot wait to give it a go. But in this game, yeah, you know, the sound engine makes complete, utter sense. Trying to find people and spot them throughout the buildings, the big-ass buildings that you're going to be breaching and clearing through, trying to understand if someone's trying to flank you, be sneaky. There's all types of stuff that can catch you off guard in this type of game mode, so you want every possible advantage that you can get, which includes sound. But once again, we're running into the same exact problem that we see every single year within the Call of Duty franchise. One of the main reasons why Call of Duty is dying in the first place It's losing its identity. Yes, I think it's fantastic that Call of Duty is trying to make extraction game modes mainstream. It's the same thing that happened with Battle Royale. Battle Royale was only on PC for ages. Games like H1Z1 and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds completely dominated the genre. And if you wanted to play Battle Royales, you had to have a PC. Then other games came out. Fortnite came out. Call of Duty extended that with Blackout and obviously Warzone. Apex came out. And then finally, console has a bunch of different BRs to finally try. Right now, there's no extraction game modes for console players. You can't really dabble in anything. Maybe, what's that one game? The Cycle Frontier? But there's no actual AAA developed games or massive indie products that look amazing that you can sample on a console. It's depressing. So to see a AAA dev come into the scene and, try to mainstream this is fantastic. Battlefield failed, so I'm hoping that Call of Duty can thrive and make a lot of people give it a go and see if they enjoy it. But at the end of the day, they have to find a perfect balance. They can't make every single feature within this game revolve around DMZ because it will negatively affect the multiplayer experience. Keep the engine, keep the footstep noise the way it is in DMZ. You don't have to change anything for that game mode. If this is the passion and drive that you had for that game mode, then keep every last factor that is already in multiplayer, keep it in DMZ. Nobody cares if you, don't want to remove it. That's fine. Keep it. But when it comes to multiplayer, there has to be different changes. You have to treat multiplayer as a completely different thing compared to DMZ because it is a completely different thing. Footsteps don't work like this in a multiplayer game for Call of Duty. It doesn't work very well with any competitive, FPS game that I can think of. If it's not a tactical shooter like Rainbow Six Siege or Escape from Tarkov or anything of that sort, Valorant or CSGO, footstep noise, it's useful. It's definitely something that pros use in the Call of Duty scene and, people love in all games across the board. But Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo and stuff like that, we're just running around trying to have a good time. We're trying to streak up. We're trying to get some cool things going on in the game. Footstep audio isn't the main factor point. But in Call of Duty, they've made it the main factor point in Modern Warfare 2, It is the most dominant factor for how successful you will be in a match. If you do not abuse the audio in this game, you will fail. There's no way around it. You will fail. If you are using a TV with no headphones and you're versing a bunch of people with headphones, you are at such a massive disadvantage, it's not even funny. And same thing goes for everything else. If they don't want to bring back the minimap because it affects DMZ, then who cares? Keep the base minimap how it is in DMZ, where no red dots will show up, because that's obviously how it should be. There should be no red dots on the minimap in the game mode like DMZ. But keep it like that, what I'm saying? That's fine. But in multiplayer, change it. It needs to be changed. Same with Dead Silence. If you prefer it as a field upgrade or, a pickup that you can get in DMZ, that's cool. In game modes like, Battle Royale, Search and Destroy, and DMZ, having a Dead Silence that only works for a certain segment of time is actually fun. It adds to the creativity of the game modes. But in a match of domination or TDM or something like that, just give us it in multiplayer, Keep it how it is in DMZ. That's perfectly fine, but when it comes to multiplayer, give us back what we want. Now, I gotta be honest, I do believe I'm straying off topic a little bit, I already talked about minimaps and Dead Silence and stuff like that, so it's whatever at this point. The real point here is that the footstep noise is way too loud in multiplayer. It's ridiculously loud, and even if they don't want to change anything else and they refuse to change anything else, even to make this game slightly more playable when it comes to 6v6, you have to reduce the footstep noise. It's mandatory at this point. Again, I feel like people will put up with it, but the mass majority of Call of Duty players are going to dip out of this game in a heartbeat. To me personally, it shows that Infinity Ward only has one group of players in mind, and they're not thinking about everybody across the board. They're not thinking about the rushers, the OBJ players, the stealthy players. They don't think about anybody else besides one group when it comes to these Infinity Ward projects. And to me personally, that's disgusting. Call of Duty is a game for everybody, whether you like to camp, rush, or like I said, anything. No matter what your playstyle is, there is a way for you to play it in COD. Not in the more recent Infinity Ward games. And like I said, this is the closest we've had to a really good Infinity Ward game. I'm really pumped and stoked about it at the moment. But these changes have to happen. They have to, or else we're going to go down a really bad path. But ladies and gentlemen, do me a massive favor. If you've gotten the chance to try out the beta for Modern Warfare 2, what's your opinion about it? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Is it mediocre for you? And give me the reason for why you enjoy it or hate it. I don't want to just hear, oh, this game is, the worst in the world. I like to hear some actual criticism. I want to know why you dislike it, because that intrigues me. It makes me think about different options and different ways of going about things. And same thing with how you enjoy the game as well. So leave it down in the comment section. I always love reading through them all. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bums, I hate it. Leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Also want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so, Twitter and Discord, put the link down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.